Hello everyone, thank you for watching. It's Tisha, and this video I'm very excited to do. I decided to go through my collection just to remind myself of all that I have before I start my spring sales or just, decluttering. Either way, I decided to look through and I kind of came up with a couple top 10 videos. I have a top 10 mascara, top 10 blushes, and now I'm doing my top 10 favorite Colourpop palettes. And that way, if these are things you're not familiar with, you can go check them out. And if you are, maybe you just like these kind of ranking style videos. I know I do. So I will try to make this quick and just give you a few thoughts on each palette. As I'm getting started, I know that I kind of have like a sneeze. It's just my allergies. It's this time of year, people. So I'm so sorry if I sound weird or like I've been crying for days. I have not. And it's a little stuffed and I'm okay. But I really still wanted to get on here and film because I'm having so much fun. So I'm so sorry if my voice is annoying you. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get through this very quickly. But at the number 10 spot, I decided to pull in a palette that I have loved from Colourpop for a very long time. It's the Sweet Taupe palette. And this was my favorite, probably 2018? No, 2019. 2019, this was my favorite. And this color story still speaks to me. I still make it a point that once a week, I change out my palettes, and I have so many Colourpop palettes that one is always a Colourpop palette. So this one still gets thrown in quite often, and I think I just had it a couple weeks ago. So even in these winter months, which now we're moving into spring, so it will like make sense, and I'll pull this in again. But this Super Shock shadow is gorgeous over some of these very neutral muted corals. I love this bottom row. It kind of deepens out the outer corner and it really pulls the look together. And when this palette came out, it got a lot of hype. And I remember that's what made me have to run out and grab it. And I'm very happy that I did because I really love this color story. And I'm not sick of it yet. It's just no longer my favorite. But that's number 10. Number 9 is just a newer to me, but this is stunning. And it's the Wild Child palette. And this is probably, it never can be the last thing that Colourpop came out with because right now as we're speaking, they're releasing something. But this is the newest to me. And this color story is just gorgeous. I see myself creating all kinds of looks, pulling this palette in to deepen something up with this bronzy shimmer shade. Or, I don't know, I don't love when they do this matte with the sparkle in it because it usually just comes out matte, but I do love that chocolate color. And I've only done one look so far with this palette, but automatically, like, it was a palette I could do every day for work. So I love that. I love when I can pull something out and just look like every day, but a little amped up. And that's what this gives me. And it was something I was going to skip on. And then I saw people talking about it and I'm so glad I picked it up. So that is Wild Child and that's my number 9. Not doing a very good job of organizing myself over here. Next, I will talk about another palette that is a favorite, but it's definitely kind of had its time here on YouTube with, just like I said, Colourpop comes out with stuff all the time. So it's really hard for something to stay in the top spot for long. And it's the Flutter by palette. And I got this pretty right into when it came out because this color story speaks to my soul. Okay, that's dramatic. But this is, I love a neutral, cool toned purple moment. Like that actually happens to be my middle name. No, just kidding. But I can come up with so many pretty looks. I love just these little pops. The only thing I don't love is this glitter. I don't know why they do that. They have something like going with these palettes and it's like they just make them 11 pans, even though that doesn't make any sense just because we get these and we don't know what to do with them. But even with that, these other colors, like I said, so many transition shades for me. So many one and done, like, two and done, like all over the lid with this shimmer. I go to work and I get compliments on the looks when I come up with this palette. So this gets pulled in quite a bit because like I said, as we're heading back to work here in Kentucky, I'm going into the office again, people. And it's so nice to have a couple palettes I can rely on because I haven't been doing makeup for like a year and a half. Just kidding, I have. But not as much, for sure. And so I come in here to play and sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. And that's for real. Okay, so that was 8. It's number 7. I wanted to throw these in because they really shocked me. I was on a Christmas bender, I guess. I don't know. Like I bought myself a few things because no one knows me better than me. So these were the Christmas collection for Colourpop. And it's the Ménage à Moi and the Boudoir Noir. Boudoir Noir. I think I said okay. Not like the best, but and this is that one. And it's that muted green for me, and then it's that really pretty pop of silver and those neutral tones. And this was something that I felt like I could pass on, and I think they just started really coming up with the sales. And oh, I just fell in love. Like I said, that kind of looks like the Flutter by, doesn't it? It's a little deeper though, and it really is. And these are another couple of palettes that when I pull them in, I don't necessarily need to pull them out. I make myself, and they perform very well. And let me see, we got a glitter here, we got 2 glitters there, we got glitter and everything. So the glitter it's hard for me to not pick a favorite based on that glitter, because I wouldn't have 10 for sure. So then we're gonna go number 6, and let's get a little tougher, people. I'm gonna go with this one. This one I bought for cuteness. It's the Mandalorian, the Chow palette, but I also love green. I have green on today. Today I'm wearing the Natasha Denona mini gold palette though, but I do love green. I don't think it looks terrible on me. And so this palette's very fun and it speaks to me, and I love just the variant of greens, you know, so I could do something minty. I can do something very neutral. I can deepen it. And then, like I said, some transition shades. So, and this is a beautiful transition shade too. So there's a lot of variety here, but it was the packaging. Look at that baby. It's so cute. So a lot of times I had to include something that was the packaging, because a lot of times it's the packaging for me with Colourpop, and they know what they're doing. We know what you're doing. So number 5 is my favorite. Well, it's my second favorite now, which I hate, but this girl, Kathleen Lights, has collabed with Colourpop. Say that 5 times fast. So many times, and I have everything because I just love her. She's someone I've watched and I've supported KL Polish, and I want to support Lights Lacquer. I haven't yet, just because like it sells out pretty quickly, and I'm just not on the nail polish train like I am makeup and Bath and Body Works, but I will support because I love her. I think she's just a genuine soul here on the YouTubes. But this is her palette, and I've seen it come in and out of stock. I have not used it much. I kind of just, it's like so pretty, but I've come into several colors, like some of these, like this guy, and these neutral shades, and like this one I can play with all the time. So that's usually what I go to. It is like a bigger palette, and I don't love, like if you'll see my collection, it's like these are the biggest thing that you'll find because it gets too big and I don't know what to do with it. But this is the Colourpop So Jaded, and this was for a very long time my favorite collab with Colourpop, but now it's been dethroned, and we're getting to that in a second, but still loved, both in the top 5. So then another one that's been dethroned but still in the top 5 is my Going Coconuts palette, and this was very loved here on YouTube, and for good reason. It's your everyday girl neutral palette, but it just made you really look put together and nice. And it has your transition shades, your deepen up the crease shades, some shimmer all over the lid shades, inner corner highlight. It has everything you need in this 9 pans. There's a couple colors in here. That Cocoa Crush right here, I can't not use this when I pull this palette out. And this Lovely Bunch, I'm definitely gonna hit pan on that at some point. And this was, for a good solid part of 2020, my favorite palette, because I got to go to Walmart like once a week or whatever it was when we got to leave our house. And so this is what I was picking to wear because I could remember how to put it on where it needed to go. So it has been replaced with a few things, but I do still love this palette, and it's put in my rotation quite often. Number 3, and this one just surprised me because it's so muted, is the Wild Nothing palette by Colourpop. And this color story doesn't look all that much, but man, this pulls together some very pretty looks. And again, very wearable for work. That's going to be a theme for me. I do love colors. Like I said, that's probably one of the reasons I love this So Jaded palette, is I do love some colors. It's just that once I get too many colors, I get really confused. I'm like, well, this looks like I could do makeup for the circus, but some people can pull this out and create a masterpiece. It's just not me yet, because I'm always growing and I'm always learning. But this palette, I can do anything I want with it, and it makes me feel safe, and it's just like a makeup hug. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm really tired, and it's the end of the day. This shimmer shade's beautiful. These muted mauvey browns are really pretty, rosy browns. And then, like I said, it's really boring. And I picked it because it's so boring, but it really performs. Now these two, I'm very excited to talk about. And like I said, when I do these rankings, when I get down to 1 and 2, I've thought about this for days. I literally have. I woke up in the middle of the night and changed my list a couple times, but in the number 2 spot is going to be the At Forest site, and it's the collaboration with Rob Beauty Christie, who is also an amazing soul here on YouTube. Everybody knows her and her beautiful baby, but she did this collab right before she had her son, and I just think it's so special. And I wasn't rooting for anyone in 2020 more than I was rooting for this girl. And she deserved everything she got that year. So, and we all liked seeing somebody win in 2020, didn't we? But this muted jewel tone color story is everything. This shade Old Growth, I've yet to ever pull this palette out and not use it. But these aren't that glitter. I keep stealing other people's terms because I don't have my own yet. But like Teresa's Dead says glitter bukkake, but it's true. Like you get that stuff under your eye and you're like, I'm assuming that's where she came up with that. But even these colors down here that might intimidate me sometimes, they're a nice deep dark rich tone and they look really great under the lower lash line or even buffed out on the eye. I've got a lot of color here to play with, and yet it's a color story that doesn't scare me, so I feel like I can get into it, and it gets pulled out quite a bit since I got it. And this was the only thing I got from her collection, and it makes me sad. I wish I could have got everything, but it was sold out for so long, and now I kind of just put myself on a no buy because I got a few packages from Colourpop that took like 6 weeks to get here, which again, I'm not being a baby. I'm not even looking on that website because I'm just like, I'm not going to see you till I'm over you. But keeping it positive over here, my favorite palette and the palette that I would recommend to anyone, because I think this palette would look beautiful on everyone, is the That's Taupe palette. And now, if you're a colorful shadow girl, I'm not recommending this palette to you. Like, why? There's no color in it. But these shades, these tones together have created like makeup I would wear on my own wedding day. Like very pretty, like you can't tell if I'm wearing a Natasha Denona Mini Glam or this. And I think that's just so good for $9, or I probably got this on sale because I'm always about that sale life. So I've thought about buying a backup of this, and that's disgusting because we know that we don't go through makeup like that, right? This isn't like Oreos. I'm gonna have it for a while, but when you just start to like see it get all beat up, like my stuff looks pretty decent. I don't know, I have a lot and I clean it up and I'm in here with it. So I'm taking care of it, but like it starts to look a little, that I know that I've been in here loving this because I can't even keep up with my own beating up of my makeup. And then, like I said, this dark brown I can't live without now. Like I need to have Bedrock in a single because I love it as like a, like to smoke out on that lash line, or even under the under eye lash line. What's that called? The lower lash line. I am tired, guys. But this palette is amazing. And so I don't get excited like this. I have no one that's listening to me except for you all. So if you don't have this and you're looking for something in this color story, the quality is really, 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 really good. So that is my number 1 palette of all the palettes, and I own many, 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 many. It's just one of those brands I can afford, and the packaging gets me, and they're coming out with collections all the time. So it was very easy to grow my collection into what it is today. And I'm not proud of it, but I am proud of it, if that makes any sense. And I hope it does. But that's gonna do it for me today. If you watched to this point in the video and you have a favorite Colourpop palette that I did not mention, please leave it down below. I'd love to chat with you about it. I love to chat about makeup. And let me know if you like this ranking style, just kind of quickly showing you my collection without going through every drawer, because I just don't think that I'm at that level yet where someone wants to listen to me clanging around in my drawers. I know I can't edit that out, so let's not do that yet. But that'll do it for me today. I appreciate you for watching this video, and I will see you in another one very soon. Thanks, everybody.